¿Qué pasa, YouTube? 6fthax here. Have for you guys today. Pretty fun OU battle I had against Saxono98. I really hope I said that correctly. If you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below to answer the question of the day. Shouts out to my boy Matty Brawlick for passing me the cream squad today. His channel link will be down below. I don't know if Saxono uploads or not, but if you do, my mans, let me know. I will leave your channel link down below as well. Now, going into this matchup, I saw that he had no way of getting rid of my hazard, so I'm going to be able to lead with Skarmory. In turn 1, I'm going to go straight for the taunt. Normally, Jirachi aren't typically very speedy. Luckily, though, Matty does have a lot of speed on the Skarmory, and I'm going to be able to not only prevent him from getting up the stealth rocks, but I will also be able to get up my own rocks, which is going to be really good, especially because this is a very hyper offensively based team, and being able to get up rocks and spikes to wear down Mega Venusaur and Alomomola is going to be huge. As funny enough, he goes for the U-turn and I red card him into Weavile. This is kind of good and bad. It's good because I can now get rid of the one thing that stops my Salamence from completely sweeping. As long as he doesn't flinch me. He does get a crit though, thankfully doesn't flinch, and while I am able to get rid of the Weavile, this does unfortunately mean I may not be able to get up a layer of spikes because he's actually going to end up bringing in the Diggersby here. And if anything, I can stay in, find out if this thing is potentially scarfed or banded, and I'm going to be able to hopefully wear it down, as I'm going to go for, I believe, Iron Head or spikes on the off chance that I was faster than him for some reason, as I think he said he misclicked actually on bringing in Diggersby, which had me thinking maybe it's banded, but there's still a chance it could be scarfed. Either way, he switches back into the Jirachi. I do not want him to get up stealth rocks, so I'm gonna go again straight for the taunt. Although I may have risked not getting up spikes, I will luckily be able to get up at least one layer of spikes, and this is even better because this now means he has no safe switch in to my Protean Life Orb Greninja. Even Mega Beedrill can severely damage his team, especially after another layer of spikes, and then late game potentially Scarfed Excadrill or Mets could still come in and late game sweep. So that's kind of my game plan at this point in the match, as I still do not want him to get up rocks. I believe I did actually end up getting up my third layer spikes, which is crazy because Skarmory was the ultimate team player for the beginning of this battle, just getting up all those entry hazards and getting rid of Weavile. Yes, Weavile can't Ice Shard Mence in Psychic Terrain, but I didn't have to try and put myself in that scenario because now Weavile is gone. So I make a bit of a misplay by bringing in my Greninja directly. I shouldn't have done that, so I switch out expecting him to try and go for a U-turn, but he actually double switches into his Venusaur, which is actually kind of good for me because now I'm able to catch the Venusaur on the switch in, and this means I can go straight for a poison jab. I really do not want to switch into a potential sleep powder because that just means he can put something on my team to sleep and then go for the synthesis the following turn. So if anything, I would rather have my Mega Bee put to sleep, but he ends up going for the synthesis, which honestly isn't a bad play because he's going to be able to scout it to see what I wanted to do or what I wanted to potentially U-turn into. So this turn, I'm thinking that maybe he's going to think I'm going to want to go for the U-turn. So I'm actually going to go for the poison jab again in hopes to just pressure the Venusaur and force him to put me to sleep, because again, would rather have my Mega be asleep than something else on my team that could come in more handy. So as he brings in the Jirachi, unfortunately Rachi is going to be able to live this knockoff and get up the stealth rock, so that is slightly annoying just because Mega Bee and Mence are both weak to rocks, but it shouldn't be entirely too big of an issue because I still got 3 layers of spikes up, so I'm in a pretty good spot here to where I can honestly just click knockoff again and lose absolutely nothing. But he's actually going to end up switching into his Alomomola, expecting me to try and go for the U-turn so he could get the free Rocky Helmet damage off, but I'm actually going to go for the knockoff because again, really lost nothing in doing so, as I'm going to be able to U-turn this turn, just barely fail to knock him out, but it is okay because we got good old Tapu busted here. I forget if I am modest or timid on this Lele, but either way, in Psychic Terrain and with him losing his Jirachi upon switching, I lose literally nothing in going for the Side Shock. I don't have to go for the taunt and reveal to him that I have taunt. If I had Calm Mind, definitely would have Calm Minded there because Protect was pretty obvious, but it's fine because this turn I am going to be able to go for the taunt, but he's actually going to switch directly into the Alakazam, and this is a little bit bad because if this Alakazam is sashed, it could potentially take down 1 or 2 Pokemon depending on how I play around it. So I'm actually going to decide to stay in here and take the Shadow Ball and decide to break a potential Focus Sash, and ultimately I was going to sack my Lele here, but after thinking about it, there is no chance he's going to Focus Blast here, so if anything, I can still keep my Tapu Lele to potentially get a KO on the Alomomola or the Venusaur, as he actually crits me on the switch into my drill. This is fine. I'm going to be able to go for the Scarf Earthquake because with 3 layers of Spikes up and Rocks up, there is nothing that's going to switch safely in to Scarf Excadrill at this point. Unless I go for the Iron Head and he switches into Alomomola, which I really have no reason to make that play. So in comes the Venusaur. Unfortunately, I doubt I can knock out Venusaur at that range of HP, especially because I am Jolly, not Life Orb and Scarf, as I mentioned. So I'm gonna make an aggressive switch into my Lele. Even if he had predicted this or gone for the Giga Drain and knocked me out, he was in a position of where I can then just bring in my Greninja or my Mega Bee and potentially get a KO, or Ment actually. So he actually forgets about the Psychic Terrain here, and he made a really good double switch there into the Diggersby. Thankfully though, Maddie has the Terrain Extender on this Tapu Lele, and because of those extra 3 turns, we're going to be able to knock out the Diggersby, which is really funny because if he had Quick Attack me, that might have been a little bit bad, but like I mentioned, I'm pretty sure he was banded, and normally only banded Diggersby run Quick Attack. I haven't seen a Scarf Quick Attack Diggersby ever, now that I think about it. But either way, in comes the Alomomola. At this point, he's got this and the Venusaur left. I'm going to go straight for the taunt. Do not want him to try and pull some Wish shenanigans, and I'm just gonna go for the Moonblast, try to get off as much damage as I can so I can then bring in my Greninja and then win with that. But Tapu Lele does not want to go down, and I'm going to go ahead and knock this out with the Hidden Power. I don't really know why. And then Venusaur is going to be his last Mon, which I don't remember if it lives hazards or not, but either way doesn't matter. So yeah, good game to Saxono. Again, I apologize if I butchered that, but the main thing I liked about this battle was that Skarmory, man, Hazard leads Skarmory, just put in so much work. Those 3 layers of spikes were just utterly huge in this matchup, especially to break his very bulky wall core of Alomomola, Venusaur, and Jirachi. So I thought that was pretty awesome in this game. I've never seen Skarmory put in that much work in a while, so I thought it was pretty awesome. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the fun matchup. Make sure to hammer arm that like button down below if you enjoyed the video. And to answer the question of the day, with all that being said, guys, 2 videos on the end screen if you have not seen them already. So thank you all for watching. Later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion, but when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.